Now, the Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa CAPPA is calling for urgent discussions on the prevailing climate finance mechanism, saying that it is essential for equitable and impactful climate action across the continent. The organization, during its third National Conference on Climate Change held in Abuja, asserted that Africa will need a significant amount of funds to adopt to climate change and limit the impact of the warming. Let's now join Elizabeth Kasham for more details.
Speaking during the National Conference on Climate Change with the theme Channeling Action Towards Just Sustainable Climate Finance, Executive Director of the corporation, Mr. Akimbode Oluwafemi, observed that the region will need an average of $250 billion per year in climate finance between 2020 and 2030.
And so, climate activists and rights movement across the world, including Demand for Climate Justice, DCJ, Climate Action Network, CAN, and African Make Big Polluters Pay, MBPP, have called for the declaration of a state of emergency on climate financing, with an initial demand of $5 trillion in climate finance annually in the next 5 years as a down payment to the Global South as a matter of urgency and justice.
In his opening remarks, Minister of Environment Alhaji Balarabe Abbas, who was represented by Mrs. Victoria Gyang Paul, emphasized the government's commitment to supporting private sector's investments in green projects by fostering a conducive environment.
Our sovereign green bonds have shown that there is a growing appetite for green investment, and we are committed to expanding these markets further to stimulate private financing that aligns with sustainable development goals. Transparency and accountability are fundamental to ensuring that climate finance achieves its intended impact. We are strengthening mechanisms to track the use of climate finance as well as measure outcomes.
Keynote speaker, Executive Director, Health of Mother Health Foundation, Dr. Nemo Basi, stressed that communities must be vocal on climate change issues to bridge the gap between policymakers and the public.
That, as Africans, we can complain about what others are doing to us, but we also have to complain about what we're doing to ourselves. And gas flaring is one thing. Nigeria has been flaring gas right from the 1950s. Each gas flare stack is a crime scene because it's killing people. It's also destroying, affecting global warming. And we just accept it as one of those things.
As the world prepares for the 29th United Nations Conference on Climate Change in Baku, stakeholders and advocates are calling for climate reparation. Recognizing climate destruction as a legal defined crime could mark a significant steps towards holding polluters accountable, as they believe that outcome of these discussions could shape the global approach to climate justice for years to come. Elizabeth Kasham, ASO Television News.